Hello, I am Mike of Enough Dice. This is the Kerbal Space Program. Right, okay. Last episode. You went a bit wrong. Poor Nabella Kerman. Basically, she got eaten by what I consider to be a physics bug. What are you doing here, Darth Aegis? What basically happened is that she jetted off. Right, okay, so I need to attach a part to my moonhopper. I've got the Kerbal inventory system and the Kerbal attachment system to enable me to do that. And I sent a box full of stuff, specifically a BTDT scanner, because I have a contract to go check out various anomalies on the Mun. Also, I just want to check out anomalies because I think anomalies are cool. And I landed it short. I landed it well over 3 kilometers short. And please don't do this again. No, I'm going to smash into the ground again. And this is what happened before I hit the ground, moving quite fast. I didn't think I was going that fast. Oh goodness, what was I doing? What was I thinking? And now what happened with the Nabella? Nabella actually went down to about 2 meters a second horizontal speed. And then she just got kicked out by what I think was happening was she was clipping into the surface of the Mun. And the physics was would go mental and would kick her out again. And so she just kept sliding and sliding and getting faster and faster and faster and faster. Until it just got sufficiently bad that she just completely smashed into the surface of the Mun and died. I was hoping to avoid doing this with Bob here. He is at least slowing down, which is what needs to happen. But basically, every so often Nabella would just bounce up like this and would get faster and faster and faster and faster, which is not how I understand physics to work. So I believe the conservation of momentum and conservation of energy were both being violated. If I'd had a quick save, I would have used that quick save, but I didn't have a quick save, so there wasn't anything I could do. Slightly aggravating. I'm desperately hoping the same is not going to happen to Bob here. I was kind of hoping to avoid this by going up high, and I did something wrong, and I smacked into the ground. I'll turn this light on because that makes it easy to see where he is relative to the ground. So I'm hoping that he is in fact eventually going to skid to a halt, and then I can recover him. Get to the inventory box, get the BTDT scanner, and get home. Well, by home I mean Moonhopper 3, which is back there quite a ways now. EVA, it turns out, is quite difficult. Maybe I need a rover. Maybe I should have sent, instead of a lander with the box on it, maybe I should have sent a rover, because the rover could have just driven this distance and wouldn't have to deal with all this nonsense. So I'm slowing down, which is what I expect to happen. So we hit at about 20 odd meters a second. It's going down. I think it hit about 30. Didn't intend to go at 30 meters a second, but now admittedly I'm going down a bit of a slope here. Just to amuse myself. I'm using the camera tool setup so you can have a stationary camera watching him slide down. That really is quite slopey, you can kind of tell. But hopefully he's... Now this is where I think it's going to be getting a bit dangerous, because it seems to be at this kind of stage that Nabella had her speed start to go up. Some of it is understandable. I've got you know, vertical speed going down and horizontal speed. Some of that can be transferred from one to the other, and that kind of makes sense. So you know, you start getting energy from coming down, then you kind of bounce off in a direction. But what seems to be happening is that essentially you can see the bits of Bob here are actually sticking underneath the moon's surface. And it seemed like at every so often the physics would just go, hey, that's a problem, and would generate a kind of a kick force to get him out of there. But get Nabella, as it was, Nabella out of there. At which point she started gaining more and more and more and more speed. And there was nothing I could do, I just had no control. And she eventually went so fast that she actually died, which is not very good. It's slightly depressing. So I'm just going to be hope I don't need an engineer anymore. It means that mining is going to be a lot slower, because mining is multiplied by the engineer level, and when you're engineer level 3, as Nabella was, are we slowing down? Come on, can you stand up yet? No. When you're engineer level 3, then we have survived. When you engineer level 3, you can speed up mining by 17 times. So I've clearly not learnt my lesson, because I'm just jetting off again. So I'm going to have to use my shadow as a guide here. So my horizontal speed is only 8-ish meters a second, which admittedly is 16 miles an hour. It's a fair whack. But I really have to be cautious and not smack into the ground again. I suppose the only good thing is that I've saved an awful lot of EVA fuel by skidding all the way down to the ground here. It's going to take a little while to get there. And then I have to go back, and I have to go back up that ridiculously big slope that is behind me. And hope I've got enough to get back. I mean, so long as I don't smash into the ground, I should be okay. But that's the problem. Thus far, I've managed to not avoid smashing into the ground. And when I go back, I'm not going to have my shadow to guide me, which is going to be a bit of a pain. Now, technically speaking, I know that rock can't hurt me, because I will just pass straight through it, but it just feels wrong to not avoid it. So 8 meters a second is about 800 meters away, so that's going to be 100 seconds, so it's a minute and a bit to get there. I'm going to keep that about the same size. But as you can see, I'm going down fairly, this is a big, 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 big slope. This is the edge of a crater. So I'm going to have to all this down that I'm doing, I'm going to have to go up once I get there. Assuming I survive this time. But I'm going to have a fair amount of EVA left, so because I survived that ridiculous ski trip there, I do actually have a fair amount of EVA propellant, which is nice. Alright, getting closer. Everything stopped there for a moment. That wasn't worrying at all. I should have quick saved when I got the chance to stand up, actually, just in case. I'm very upset about Nabella getting killed by the physics. I basically feel that it is not fair. Oops. Let's start slowing down. Start going up into the air. It's kind of funny. Alright, so about 10 seconds out, give or take. Shouldn't matter now if I land. I should be okay. But still. Right, let's just walk the last bit. So I was going on about, yeah, I've got lots of EVA fuel. I don't really have lots of EVA fuel left. And I've got a very large slope to get up. So I may be in for a bit of a walk. I've done it before. It wasn't pleasant, but I've done it before. Right, let's grab the inventory. Hurrah! Let's grab my inventory. Just bring things over. Close and close. Quick save. Would help if I'm pressing the right button, which I'm not. Right. No, that's an autosave. I want a quick save. Quick saving, there we go. And now let's go forward at about... Let's stick here, actually. Until I get over this ridge. I'm just going to stick at this. So I'm going at 5-ish meters a second, just under 6. But the main thing is I need to maintain approximately the same the same vertical altitude over the terrain, which is different from my altitude because obviously this is a great big slope. So I have to kind of go up in order to keep the same distance from the terrain. The problem is the more I do this, the more EVA fuel I'm going to use up. In terms of my horizontal speed, I don't have to do nothing. Nothing should change that at all. I could really do with not so much my vertical speed, but how fast my speed is changing relative to my altitude above the terrain. I would love that. That would be so useful. I don't know if that's a thing I can get. Go to that, put on surface. Slope is 24.3 degrees, which is quite a lot if you think about it. That's you know quite a serious slope. I wonder if I might not have to think about landing, because I'm running quite low. Had I envisioned this particular scenario, then what I could have done, yeah, I'm just going to land. What I could have done is put extra EVA propellant in the inventory. Right. Put the RCS away, just to not tempt me. So I'm going to have a big, long walk ahead of me. That's slightly aggravating. So... yeah, not a lot I can do about that. I could have put more EVA propellant in there and maybe had enough to get back. Yeah, next time I'll send a rover. I might do that because I want to do the same thing to Minmus. I want to send the same thing to Minmus, and don't want to have to go through this hassle. Minmus would be easier. Minmus, if I can get within 3 kilometers of Minmus is much easier to deal with. You know, the forces, gravity's less, which means all the forces are less. So that's a thing I would be able to do, but as it stands, I've just got a long walk ahead of me right now. So if I might send a rover to Minmus so if need be, I can just ferry the thing over instead of having to spend forever walking. So anyway, thanks so much for watching. Do hit like and subscribe if you're enjoying the videos. Come visit Nearly Enough Dice at nearlyenoughdice.com. We're also on Facebook and on Twitter, so just search for Nearly Enough Dice. And until next time, reach for the stars and keep on trucking.